The Toronto Raptors, that was pretty rough. I mean, this is a rebuild in a nutshell, guys. 24 hours after the Raptors almost upset the number one seed in the Western Conference in a valiant effort against the OKC Thunder, the Raptors, they had another game to quickly forget. One of the worst losses of the season. I'm not going to pin it as the worst loss of the season. I still think the Detroit Pistons loss is the absolute worst. Second, I have a back-to-back. Didn't think it was going to get this ugly, but it quickly got out of hand as the Pelicans beat the Raptors by 38 points. Now, the Raptors at least avoided their all-time largest loss in franchise history, which is 46 points. And it was thanks to a couple of late threes by Grady Dick and a steal and a breakaway dunk by Garrett Temple. Michael Grange put that out on X. And if you want to just look at the only positive from this one, and the only thing that I really care about in this game and something that we'll just talk about, and that is Grady Dick. That was the only thing that brought me just a little bit of joy. At least Grady Dick got his career high in points. Grady Dick, he was great to watch. 22 points, 9 of 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3 in 30 minutes. Like I said, new career high. His previous career high was 16 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And really outside of that, I mean, there was nothing else going on for the Raptors in this one. So obviously the Raptors weren't going to go for the play-in. You knew there was going to be a lot of losing. And this is the current reality of the Raptors, guys. They are a rebuilding team that is clearly tanking. There is going to be some good, like we saw Sunday night in OKC, and there's going to be a lot of bad. Simple as that. You just got to trust the process. And what I will say is this, RJ Barrett, it goes to show how much of an impact and how valuable he is to this Raptors team, because this Raptors team, toe-to-toe against the best team in the West with RJ in the lineup, and then a night later, I know it's the second half of back-to-back, but without RJ, this team looked completely lost. Couldn't even make it remotely close. Couldn't even lose by at least like 15, 20, not 38, and be down by as many as 45. So RJ's very valuable. And, you know, it's going to be interesting now to see what this team does on Thursday and if Masai Ujiri will, in fact, clean house. Because Masai Ujiri said it when addressing the Pascal Siakam trade earlier in January. He said more moves are definitely coming when asked about it. So the trade deadline, a few days from now on Thursday. The only untouchables for me at this point, Barbecue very clearly, Barnes, Spare quickly. They're not going anywhere. And then I would put Dick in that category. I know people are still not sold on Dick, but look, I'm not ready to give up on a 20-year-old kid when he has shown you some things, especially over this last little stretch. Other than that, I'm good to clean this thing up. Like, Raptors got to be aggressive on the phones. They got to definitely trade a Bruce Brown, who reportedly has a ton of interest. Could be a sweepstakes for him. Chris Boucher is another name that has been brought up on the rumor mill. If I were to predict something, I would say those two guys are gone come Thursday. You can make a case for other guys being traded. You know, Gary Trent Jr. would like to trade him. It might be tough, though, because our team's really going to give up value for a guy who's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Probably not. Dennis Schroeder, you know, he still has a year left on his contract. Could help a lot of contending teams as a backup point guard, especially since he's been in the Raptors' closing lineups in some of their closer games. Obviously, McDaniels, that his tenure with the Raptors has been a disaster. The names go on and on. The list goes on and on. Literally, anybody outside of those four I mentioned could very well be moved at this point. So the Raptors definitely need to make some moves. It would be a disappointment, in my opinion, if the trade deadline passes by and nothing happens. I would be surprised if absolutely nothing happens. I do suspect some trades to happen. While I don't think they're going to probably completely clean house, I can see guys, like I said, like our Bruce Brown and Boucher moved. So all eyes on the deadline at this point. But in terms of this product right now, guys, it's not going to be good. Just telling you as it is. And there's going to be some very, very bad moments like this one that we just saw. Just going to have to trust the process and just think, it's going to get better eventually. But for right now, it is going to be brutal where the Raptors one night look competitive and look like they're closer to being back. And then the next night, they look like this team is one of the worst teams in the league at this point. The Raptors, they want to keep that pick, I would think, at this point. They're losing a bunch of games. They're not far off of the Blazers at this point for the 5th worst record. That should be the game plan moving forward and just continue to develop the young guys. All eyes will be on Thursday, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Not much to really say about this game, but let me know your thoughts about the trade deadline. Who do you want to see get moved? Hit me up down below. Drop a like, subscribe. Until next time, this is Luke signing off. And until next time, stay safe.